It was a Wednesday morning, the same Wednesday it always comes. A 71-year-old woman in Ohio sat at her kitchen table waiting for a deposit that simply never showed up. No phone call, no letter, no warning, just an empty space in her bank account where her federal benefit payment was supposed to be. She had not done anything wrong. She had not missed a deadline. She had simply missed one small update that millions of seniors across this country are still missing right now in 2026 without knowing it. And by the time most people find out what went wrong, the damage is already done. My name is Mason Parker. For over a decade, I have studied retirement benefits, senior tax programs, and the financial rules that affect seniors every single year. What I am covering today is specific and time-sensitive. 3 direct deposit changes that are active right now in 2026. All of them affecting Social Security and SSI payments, and all of them creating windows where good, honest seniors are getting caught off guard. Before we get into the 3 changes, subscribe right now and turn on the notification bell. Next week, I am covering a Social Security rule that affects anyone who claimed before their full retirement age and assumed the decision was permanent. It is not, and the window to act on it closes at a specific age. Most people never reach in time. Subscribe now so that video finds you when it posts. Now, here is the context before the 3 changes. Executive Order 14247 was signed in March 2025 and required all federal benefit payments to go electronic. The initial compliance deadline was the 30th of September 2025. Then, on the 2nd of June 2026, the SSA formally announced it will complete the full transition by the end of this year. As of right now, fewer than 1% of beneficiaries, roughly 280,000 to 400,000 people nationally, still receive paper checks. But here is what that 1% statistic misses entirely. Making the switch and having the switch set up correctly with verified current account information are 2 completely different situations. And the gap between those 2 is exactly where 3 separate problems are converging right now. Change 1 involves the paper check deadline and an option almost nobody knows exists for seniors who genuinely cannot switch. Change 2 is where the real danger lives, and it has nothing to do with the SSA at all. Change 3 involves the confusion window that opens every month around payment dates and why it is the highest value moment in the fraud calendar right now. Stay through all 3. Change 2 is the one that is actively costing seniors money today. The paper check elimination is not new news. What is new is the finality of it. And there are 2 specific groups of seniors who are still at risk from this change, even if they believe they already handled it months ago. Let me start with what actually happened and when, because most of the coverage of this change has been imprecise in ways that matter. Executive Order 14247, titled Modernizing Payments to and from America's Bank Account, was signed in March 2025. It directed federal agencies to stop issuing paper checks for all federal payments. The operational deadline was the 30th of September 2025. On the 2nd of June 2026, the SSA published an official blog post confirming it will complete the full transition to electronic-only payments by the end of 2026, covering the small remaining fraction of beneficiaries still receiving paper. The documented reason for this transition is not bureaucratic preference. Paper checks are 16 times more likely to be lost, stolen, altered, or returned undeliverable than electronic payments. The average cost to print and mail one paper check has increased to $3.7. An electronic transfer costs less than 15 cents to process. That is a 20-to-1 cost difference. The financial and security case for eliminating paper was not close. If you are still receiving your Social Security or SSI payment by paper check in the mail, you need to act before the end of this year, not this weekend. Now, two options are available, and I want to cover both clearly because the second one is the one most seniors in this situation do not know exists by name. Option 1 is direct deposit into a traditional bank account. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov and navigate to the payment settings. Enter your current bank routing number and account number. The update processes quickly under the new electronic system. You can also call the SSA directly at 1-800-772-1213 and a representative can walk you through the update over the phone. Option 2 is the Direct Express prepaid debit card. This is a government-issued prepaid MasterCard designed specifically for seniors who do not have a traditional bank account. Your monthly benefits are deposited directly onto the card on the same payment schedule as direct deposit. The card works anywhere MasterCard is accepted. There is no credit check, no minimum balance requirement, and no bank account required to enroll. Call 1-800-967-6857 or visit godirect.gov to enroll. This number and website are official government resources. For seniors who have resisted the electronic switch out of a general distrust of digital banking, the Direct Express card is worth a second look. It does not require a smartphone, an online account, or any digital interaction after the initial enrollment. Benefits simply arrive on the card each month, and you use it the same way you would use any debit card at a store, a pharmacy, or an ATM. Here is the angle that almost no coverage of this transition has explained. A hardship waiver is available through the United States Treasury for seniors who face genuine documented obstacles to receiving electronic payments. Two specific qualifying circumstances are recognized. The first is a documented mental health condition that makes managing electronic payments genuinely difficult or impossible without assistance. The second is living in a remote geographic area where there is no reasonable access to a financial institution or electronic payment infrastructure. If you or a senior you care for falls into either of those situations, the waiver can be requested directly through the U.S. Treasury. It is not a permanent exemption from the electronic payment requirement. It is a documented accommodation that provides additional time and support while a workable solution is arranged. Most seniors watching this will not qualify for the waiver, and that is the correct outcome. But knowing it exists means that the seniors facing the most genuine hardship have an option rather than simply missing their payment with no recourse and no explanation. This is the larger group and the more overlooked one. And it is where the woman in Ohio from the beginning of this video actually found herself. If you switch to direct deposit at any point in the last 2 to 3 years, your enrollment may not be current right now, even though your payments have been arriving. Here is why. Bank mergers, closed accounts, updated routing numbers, and account changes all create a broken link between your SSA enrollment record and your actual current banking information. When that link breaks, the next payment has nowhere to go. You will not receive a warning. You will not receive a letter. You will simply check your account on payment day and find nothing there. The SSA cannot fix a mismatch it does not know exists. The payment attempts to reach the account on file. If that account is no longer active or the routing number is no longer valid, the payment is returned to the SSA. The process of recovering a returned payment and reissuing it adds days to the timeline. Days when your bills are still due and your prescriptions still need to be filled. Here is how to verify your enrollment is current right now. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov and navigate to the payment settings. Confirm the routing number and account number currently on file match your active current account exactly. Not an account you had 2 years ago, not an account from a bank that was acquired by a different institution, the account that is open and active today. If you do not have a My Social Security online account, call 1-800-772-1213 and ask the representative to read back the routing number and last 4 digits of the account number currently on file for your direct deposit. Compare that to your current account documentation. If anything does not match, update it during that same call. This verification takes approximately 5 minutes. Skipping it because your last few payments arrive correctly is exactly the assumption that leaves seniors with a missed payment and no understanding of why. Change 2 is where the real danger lives. And I want to say this clearly before anything else, because the framing matters. The electronic payment transition itself is not the threat. The transition is more secure than the paper system it replaces. The threat is what criminals are doing with the cover the transition provides. They have mapped the verification process the SSA uses in granular detail, and they are now impersonating it step by step, targeting seniors at the exact moment when a conversation about account verification sounds the most legitimate. Here is how it works in 2026. A senior receives a phone call. The caller identifies as a representative of the Social Security Administration, the Treasury Department, or a federal payment processing office. They explained that due to the 2026 electronic payment transition, the senior's account information needs to be reconfirmed to ensure uninterrupted payment. They have the senior's name. Sometimes they have the last 4 digits of the bank account. They sound official. They sound urgent. Then they ask for the full routing number, the full account number, or a one-time verification code that was just sent to the senior's phone. The moment any of those 3 pieces of information are provided, the caller can redirect the next benefit payment to an account they control. Under the new electronic system, account changes process in as little as 1 business day. The payment that was supposed to arrive on Wednesday can be sitting in a criminal's account by Thursday with no warning, sent to the senior until the payment simply does not show up. The SSA Office of the Inspector General has documented a specific fraud sequence that every version of this scam follows, regardless of how it is disguised. They call it the 4 Ps. Pretend. The caller pretends to be from the SSA, the Treasury, or a federal payment office. They may use a spoofed caller ID that shows an official government number. They may have enough personal information about you to sound credible problem. They present an urgent problem, a flagged account, a suspended payment, an unverified enrollment that will result in your payment being held unless action is taken immediately. Pressure. They apply a deadline, usually 24 to 48 hours, sometimes less. The urgency is manufactured specifically to prevent you from slowing down, checking with a family member, or calling the SSA independently to verify payment. They ask for your routing number, your account number, your Social Security number, or a one-time verification code. One of those 4 things. That is always the destination of the call, regardless of how it starts. Every version of this fraud follows that exact arc. Pretend problem, pressure, payment. If you are in a conversation that follows that sequence, you are not talking to anyone from the government. End the call. The SSA fraud hotline is 1-800-269-0271. Report the contact there. Also reported at ftc.gov. These reports help federal investigators track the operations running this fraud and warn other seniors before more damage is done. Here is the rule. Write it down somewhere, or you will see it. A legitimate federal agency will contact you about account verification by mail. Not by phone, not by text, not by email. Mail. The SSA, the Treasury Department, and every federal disbursement office follow the same protocol. When they need to verify your information, they send a letter to your address on file. They do not initiate outbound phone calls to ask you to confirm banking information. That direction goes one way only. You call them, they do not call you. Any inbound call asking you to confirm financial account information to protect your payment is not the agency. It does not matter how official the caller sounds. It does not matter if your name appears on their caller ID. It does not matter if they already have some of your information. The call is the fraud. One sentence is all you need. I do not confirm account information over inbound calls. Then hang up. Here is the most powerful step in this entire section, and the one most seniors have not taken. Create or log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov/MyAC account today. When you have an active My Social Security account, the SSA sends you an alert. Anytime someone attempts to change your address or your direct deposit information on your record. If a scammer has your Social Security number and tries to redirect your payment, you receive a notification immediately, not days later when your deposit fails to arrive. Immediately. While there is still time to contact the SSA and stop the redirect before it processes, if you do not have a My Social Security account, a scammer who obtains your personal information can potentially create one in your name and use it to redirect your benefits before you ever know it happened. Creating the account yourself closes that door permanently. The scammer cannot create an account for you if you already have one. The setup takes approximately 15 minutes. You need your Social Security number, an email address, and a phone number for verification. Once it is active, it works quietly in the background and contacts you only when something changes on your record that you need to know about. If setting up the account feels overwhelming, ask a trusted family member to sit with you for one afternoon and complete it together. Once it is done, it requires no ongoing maintenance. It simply protects you. If you have a large cash balance sitting in a single bank account right now, that account is the first target a payment redirect scam goes after. The Senior Money Defense Playbook covers the trusted contact setup, the joint account danger, and the FDIC protection steps that remove that target before anyone gets the chance to aim at it. The link is in the description below. Change 3 is the one that almost no one has been warned about clearly, not because of what it does to your payment, but because of the window it creates for someone else to do something to your payment. Under the old paper check system, payment dates were fixed, the same date, month after month, year after year. Beneficiaries built their entire monthly financial schedule around that date. Rent, utilities, prescriptions, everything timed the arrival of that check. The predictability was so reliable that most seniors stopped actively tracking the date at all. They simply knew it was coming, and it came. Under the fully electronic system, that predictability still exists, but it works differently than the paper calendar did. And the seniors who do not know exactly when to expect their payment under the new schedule are the ones sitting in the confusion window. And the confusion window is exactly where the fraud lives. Let me give you the complete schedule right now. So this window closes for you permanently. SSI recipients receive their payment on the 1st of every month. If the first falls on a weekend or a federal holiday, the payment arrives the previous Friday. That means if your payment did not arrive on a Monday, when the 1st is a Sunday, it was not late. It arrived the Friday before and may have posted before you checked. Seniors who filed for Social Security benefits before May 1997, or who receive both Social Security and SSI, receive their Social Security payment on the 3rd of every month. The same weekend and holiday rule applies. If the 3rd falls on a weekend, the payment arrives the previous weekday. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th of any month, your Social Security payment arrives on the 2nd Wednesday of each month. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, your payment arrives on the 3rd Wednesday of each month. If your birthday falls between the 21st and the 31st, your payment arrives on the 4th Wednesday of each month. Write down your specific date right now. Set a recurring calendar reminder in your phone or on a paper calendar for each month. Know the date before it arrives, not after it passes. That knowledge alone removes a significant portion of the vulnerability this change creates. Here is why knowing your exact date matters more than it seems. The window between when a payment is expected and when it has not yet arrived is the moment scammers target most deliberately. They know when Social Security payment dates fall. They time their calls to land in that window specifically. A senior who is already anxious about a payment that has not shown up yet is far more likely to respond to a caller offering a resolution than a senior who is simply going about their day. The caller does not need to convince you of much. The anxiety is already there. They simply need to position themselves as the solution to a problem you are already feeling. That is the mechanism. The window is the vulnerability. Knowing your date and knowing the 3 business day rule are what close it. Here is the protocol that applies when your expected payment date arrives and nothing has posted to your account. Wait 3 full business days before taking any action. Most delays in the electronic payment system, posting delays at your bank, processing timing differences, and minor schedule adjustments resolve within that 3 business day window without any intervention at all. The payment is in the system. It simply has not posted yet. Acting inside that 3 business day window, making calls, accepting callbacks from unknown numbers, providing information to anyone who reaches out to offer help, is exactly when and how the fraud finds you. The scammer calls on Wednesday because your payment did not show up Wednesday morning. The anxiety is real. The caller sounds like a solution. The window closes around you before you realize what happened. Wait 3 business days, then follow this exact sequence. Step 1. Call your bank directly using the number on the back of your debit card. Ask whether a payment is pending or whether there was a posting delay on their end. Many delays resolve at this step before escalating anywhere. If your bank confirms a payment arrived but is not yet posted, you have your answer. Wait for the posting. Step 2. If your bank confirms nothing was received after 3 business days, call the SSA at 1-807-772-123. Use the number you find yourself at ssa.gov, not a number from a search result, not a number a caller gave you, the number you locate independently at the official SSA website. The SSA will review your case, trace the payment, and initiate the recovery process. Step 3. If you received any suspicious phone calls or contacts during the period your payment was missing, report them to the SSA fraud hotline at 1-800-269-0271 and to the FTC at ftc.gov. Before you do anything else, here is one more specific detail that most coverage of this transition has not addressed, and that changes how you think about the timing of everything I have covered today. Under the old paper system, changes to your direct deposit information took up to 30 days to process. That processing window gave banks, federal monitors, and fraud detection systems meaningful time to catch something unusual before it caused damage. Under the new fully electronic system, updates to your direct deposit information process in as little as 1 business day. That speed works completely in your favor when you need to make a legitimate change quickly. But it also means that a fraudulent redirect, an account change made by a scammer who obtained your information, can take effect before the next payment cycle. The margin between when a fraudulent change is made and when it can be caught and reversed has shrunk significantly. This is why verifying your enrollment now before a problem occurs is not just a good idea. It is the primary protection. Catching a mismatch before a payment fails is simple. Reversing a payment that already went to the wrong account under the new processing speed is significantly more complicated and significantly slower. One final piece of this protocol that costs nothing and takes about 2 minutes to put in place. Tell one trusted family member or close friend 3 specific things: which bank your Social Security payment goes to, what your expected payment date is each month, and what the 3 business day rule means. Then agree together on one simple rule. If either of you receives a call claiming to be from a federal agency about your Social Security payment, you talk to each other before responding to the caller in any way. Scammers depend on isolation. They depend on a senior making a decision alone under pressure with no one available to check with. A manufactured urgency of 24 to 48 hours is designed specifically to prevent that check-in from happening. One trusted person with one shared understanding removes most of that advantage before the scammer ever gets the chance to use it. The call can wait. Your family member cannot always be there. But if the habit is already in place before the call arrives, the scammer's best tool, urgency combined with isolation, stops working. 3 changes. Let me bring everything into one clear list so you know exactly what to do before you close this video. If you are still receiving a paper check, switch today. Log into ssa.gov. and add your bank account information through your My Social Security account. If you do not have a traditional bank account, call 1-800-967-6857 or visit godirect.gov to enroll in the Direct Express prepaid debit card program. No bank account required, no credit check, benefits deposit automatically each month. If switching is genuinely not possible due to a mental health condition or because you live in a remote area without access to a financial institution, contact the U.S. Treasury to ask about a hardship waiver. If you already switched to direct deposit, log into ssa.gov right now and confirm the routing number and account number currently on file match your active current account exactly. If you changed banks, closed an account, or had a routing number updated for any reason in the last 2 to 3 years, update the SSA record today before the mismatch creates a missed payment with no warning. If you prefer to do this by phone, call 1-800-772-1213 and ask the representative to read back the routing number and last 4 digits of the account number currently on file. Compare it to what is in your account today. For every senior, regardless of payment method, create or log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. This is the single most powerful account protection step available to you right now. It alerts you immediately if anyone attempts to change your address or your direct deposit information. It closes the door on fraudulent redirects before they happen rather than after. Write down your exact payment date. SSI recipients the 1st of every month. Pre-19997 recipients, the 3rd birthday, 1 through 10, 2nd Wednesday, birthday, 11 through 23rd, Wednesday birthday, 21 through 31, 4th Wednesday, set a monthly calendar reminder, the date before it arrives, memorize the 3 business day rule. If your payment has not arrived by your expected date, wait 3 full business days before taking any action. Most delays resolve without intervention. Acting inside that window is when and the fraud finds you. If payment is genuinely missing after 3 business days, call your bank first, then call the SSA at 1-800-772-1213 using the number you find at ssa.gov. Never use a number provided by an inbound caller. Tell one trusted person your payment date, your bank, and the 3 business day rule. Agree that neither of you will respond to any inbound call about your Social Security payment without checking with the other first. I want to speak directly to the seniors watching this who realize somewhere in this video that their direct deposit information might not be current, or that they have been waiting out missing payments without knowing the 3 business day rule, or that they do not have a My Social Security account. and someone could have already attempted to change their deposit information without them knowing. If that describes your situation, the next step is not another video. The next step is having every bank account rule, every government form, every protection step, and every deadline in one place so you can act on it today. That is exactly what I built the Senior Money Defense Playbook for. It covers the trusted contact setup that prevents account freezes before they start, the joint account danger that most seniors create out of love, and the free fix that takes one conversation at your branch, the FDIC coverage gap. Most seniors have never checked. The SSA earnings record errors silently reducing monthly checks. The Medicare search charge you can stop with one form and 6 other rules affecting your money right now in 2026 that nobody is volunteering to explain. 60 pages, plain English, every form named, every phone number listed, every action step written out exactly. If even one chapter puts 1 month of a miscorrection back in your pocket, the guide has paid for itself many times over. The link is in the description below this video and in the channel bio. It is called the Senior Money Defense Playbook. Get it today because 2 of the deadlines inside it are closing before the end of this calendar year. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Share this with one person you know who receives Social Security or SSI. One conversation started by this video could save them weeks of confusion and keep their payment exactly where it belongs. I will see you in the next one.